Hello everyone. In this video, we shall discuss the sources of livelihood in Odisha. And first of all, we should know the population or the demographic profile of the state. In Odisha, as per 2011 census, we have about 4.5 lakh people. And if we look at the working age population, that includes the people between the age group of 15 to 59. Then between 2001 and 2011, it has increased by about 20%. That which was the working age population in 2001 was about 2.15 crore, and in 2011 this has become 2.58 crore. So which is basically a 20% decadal growth. And if you see the share of working age population to the total population, then it has gone up from 58.5 4 percentage to 61.5 percentage in total. And if you see in rural area and urban area, then we have about 57.4 percentage. It was in 2001, and it has now increased to 60.7.3 as per the census 2011. Similarly, in urban area, it has increased from 64.1 percentage to 67.0. So that is the share of the working age population in the total population. And that means basically the people in the age group of 15 to 59. Now coming to the work participation rate in the state, if we compare it from 1961 to 2011, and we compare the rate for the Odisha and India, then we see that from 1961, between 1961 and 1971, there was a fall. But after that, we see there is a steady rise in the work participation rate in Odisha as well as at national level. And in 2011, the work participation rate of Odisha is higher than the national average. So that means in Odisha, in 2011 census, we had 42% people in the work that was the work participation rate, and at national level, the work participation rate was 39.8, or we can say 40%. What is this work participation rate? This is nothing but the people in the working age group. Okay, and so that is the people who are ready to work divided by the total population. That is the work participation rate. And coming to the sectoral work participation rate, we can see that in the agricultural laborers, basically their share have gone up from 35% to 38%. Similarly, household industry workers share have gone up from 4.9 to, sorry, it has declined from 4.9 to 4.5 percentage. And if you see the work participation rate in rural area and urban area, then it has all gone up. And if you look at the work participation rate of the males, then it has gone up from 52.5 percentage in 2001 to 56.1 percentage in 2011. Similarly, the females work participation rate has gone up from 21.7 percentage in 2001 to 27.2 percentage in 2011. That is per the state. And at national level, we see that the work participation rate for the males has gone up from 51.7 in 2001 to 53.3 percentage, and similarly for the females, there is a marginal fall, we can say, or it has remained constant at 25.5 percentage or 25.6 percentage. So this is the work participation rate in the state and in India. Then coming to the work participation in Odisha and India, particularly in case of industry, we see that the medium and small industries numbers have gone up in the country as well as in the state, and this has gone up from 3.88 lakh in 2001 to industry census to 15.73 lakh in 2006-7 census. Similarly, the total employment in the medium and small scale industry has gone up from 9.25 lakh to 33.24 lakh in 2006-7. So similarly, at national level, we can see that the total number of units in medium and small scale industry has gone up from 105.21 lakh to 361.76 lakh in the year 2006-7. So overall, there is an increase in the number of units of small and medium scale enterprises. Similarly, there is an increase in the total employment in the medium and small industry sector. Now, coming to the big factories. Now, the number of big factories in Odisha has increased from 2,536 in 2010-11 to 3,051 in 2016-17. And if you see the people engaged in these big industries, then the total employment in the big industries has declined from 2.83 lakh in 2010-11 to 2.73 lakh in 2016-17. So what we imply is that the big factories are adopting more mechanized or more capital intensive technology, and that's how they're producing more output, but their employment or the number of persons engaged in such big factories is basically declining. So that is the message that you can draw from here. Now, coming to the work participation rate across districts of the state, we find there is a huge difference. Here in this diagram, we see the blue lines which show the male work participation rate in India, Odisha, and all the districts. Similarly, the yellow line, yellow bar line shows the female work participation rate in India, Odisha, and in all the districts. What we see is that the work participation rate for both male and female in Odisha is higher than the national average. But when you compare the work participation rate of male and female in the district, in the 30 districts of the state, we see that there is little difference in the male work participation rate. But when it comes to the female work participation rate, there is a significant difference across districts. And we find that in the most of the coastal districts of the state, the female work participation rate is lower compared to the tribal dominated districts. And this variation also exists both in the rural area and in the urban area. So in this bar diagram, we see the rural work participation rate for both male and female. The abbreviation RMWPR is rural male work participation rate, and the yellow lines are the rural female work participation rate. And here again we see that in the coastal region, the rural female work participation rate is lower compared to the non-coastal districts of the state of Odisha. Now, this bar chart shows the urban work participation rate. So what we compare, if you compare the work participation rate in urban area and rural area, particularly for the females, then the female work participation rate in urban area is lower compared to that of in the rural area. But the similar trend exists in the urban area, that is that the female work participation rate in the coastal districts is lower compared to the non-coastal districts of the state. And but in general, we see that in rural area, the female work participation is higher compared to the female work participation in the urban area. And now to find out some association, we can put these two variables together, the female work participation rate and the, particularly in the rural area, the rural female work participation rate and the rural female literacy rate, then we find a negative relationship. That means when the literacy rate increases in a particular district, then the work participation rate of the female basically falls. This will be substantiated with the other data basically from the periodic labor survey report that will come across. Now, this similar trend also exists in the urban area where we take the female work participation rate in urban area and the female literacy rate in the urban area. Here also we see a negative relationship, but the inverse relationship in the rural area is much sharper compared to the urban area. Now, coming to the to analyze the employment scenario in the state of Odisha, I have also used the labor force participation rate data from the periodic survey of labor provided by the MOSP, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And if you take the labor force participation rate according to the usual status, which includes the primary status plus secondary status, and the people who are in the working age group of 15 to 59, what we see is that in Odisha, in total, the work participation rate is higher compared to the national average. That means in Odisha, the work participation rate is 55%, and in India is 53.6, or we can say 54%. And in rural area, the work participation rate in Odisha is 56% compared to the national average of 54.5, and or you can say 55, so 1% is higher in Odisha. And in urban area, again, it is 1% is higher in Odisha, particularly the work participation rate. So when we say labor force participation rate, it basically refers to the people who are in the working age group. Either they are working or they are looking for jobs. But when you look at the unemployment rate of Odisha and India, we see that Odisha has a higher rate of unemployment compared to the national average. And Odisha's unemployment rate is about 7.6%. And this is the data given, this is the data in 2018-19 periodic survey of labor report. So in 2018-19, we see that the unemployment rate in Odisha is higher than the national average, and that is 7.6 in Odisha and 6.2 at national level. Now, when you look at the unemployment rate in rural and urban areas, again, the unemployment rate is in urban Odisha is much higher compared to the urban India. So in urban Odisha, the unemployment rate is 13.3% as compared to the 8% at national level. Now coming to the rural area, the unemployment rate in rural Odisha is 6.6% as compared to the rural India, that is 5.4%. And when it comes to the unemployment rate of the female population in urban area, the gap is even much more because the unemployment rate among the women in the working age group of 15 to 59 is in Odisha is 20.5% as compared to the national average of 10.3%. Similarly, for the male, the gap is about 3%, and coming to the female in rural area, Odisha has about 1% higher unemployment rate in the rural area, particularly for the females. Now, coming to the work status, basically the workers in usual status by broad status in employment. If you compare the Odisha situation with all India, what we see is that maximum people are all self-employed, and we can see that about 60% is people in Odisha who are in the working age group are self-employed, and about 11% are getting regular wage or salary, and 30%, almost 29.3% people are working as casual labor. And if we compare it with the national trend, then Odisha has relatively less percentage of the workers who get regular wage or salary, because in Odisha, only 11%, 10.8 or 11% people get regular wage or salary compared to 13.4% at the national level. And that's how we see that higher percentage people work as casual labor in the state. And in coming to the self-employment, 60% people work as self-employed people compared to 50% at national level. And if you again see the difference between the male and female, then in Odisha, less people, particularly less female workers, get regular wage or salary compared to the national average. And again, the same trend we observe for the male population. So maximum people are either working as self-employed people or they work as casual labor. When we call self-employed, it could go two types. Either they work in their own factory or their own establishment, or they work as helper in the household enterprise. And we find that maximum people basically they work in their own factory setup. So that's how they are all self-employed, and followed by the casual labor percentage. And very few people get the regular wage salary, and that is about 11%. Now, coming to the trend in the urban area, then we find that at national level and particularly in urban area, we find there is not much difference between Odisha and India. The casual labor, particularly in case of casual labor, about 13% people, both at national level and in Odisha, are working as casual labor. And coming to the regular salary, again, it is same about 38.1%, both at national level and state level. And similarly, all self-employed people, we also find almost similar trend in the urban regions. Now, coming to the rural and urban area combination, we find that in Odisha, in total, 16% people get regular wage and salary in total, and it is much less compared to the national average of about 24%. So we can say there is a 8% gap in case of regular wage and salary class in the state. And that's how we can see that more people in Odisha are working as either casual labor or as self-employed people. Now, coming to the labor force participation rate, according to the usual status per person of age 15 or above of different general education level. So basically here we see the work participation rate among different education group people, and this is combination of both rural and urban area. We find that particularly for the if you look at the total trend, then we observe that maximum people are employed in if they are having a diploma degree or a certificate course. And we say that this is 84.1% in Odisha compared to the national average of 73.2%. And then the second highest comes there who are literate or up to primary levels of education, that is 58.6%. Sorry, the second highest will be the graduate. So first one is the people who are diploma, who are having a diploma or a certificate course, are getting employed. Their work participation rate is much higher. And then the second highest is the graduates, the postgraduate level, because that is 71.3. And then the third one is graduates who have 63.6% labor force participation rate. And then next one is the literate and up to primary level. So that is for the total population in the state. And if we compare it with the national average, then we find there are differences. And in some indicate, particularly when it comes to the people who have a diploma or a certificate course, if they are from Odisha, then they have a higher chance of getting unemployment compared to the national average of 73%. And similarly, when it comes to the graduates, again graduates of Odisha have higher labor force participation than the national average. Same situation for the postgraduates and for other level of education also this is true. Now coming to the male work participation in different education group, we observe that again the diploma holders, no sorry, it is the literate and up to primary level education that actually has that group actually has the highest labor force participation rate, and it is followed by the people who have a diploma or a certificate course, that is 85%. Of course, no, sorry, the next one is the postgraduate. So that means the people who are in the literate and up to primary education, they have the highest labor force participation rate. Then it is followed by the people who have postgraduate and above. They have about 87% uh, chance of being in labor force, and then comes the people who have a diploma or a degree certificate, and then comes the middle education group, and then comes the graduates. So like that, no, we find that the people who are in the literate up to primary, they have the highest labor force participation rate. Now, when it comes to the female work participation rate, then we see that the people, the female who have the diploma or a certificate course have the highest rate of labor force participation rate. But for all other groups, we find there is a drastic fall in the labor force participation rate, and because in total we find only 24.4% people, female work people are basically participating in the labor force. And so what do you observe when the female workers get some education, basically when they move from illiterate to literate or middle level of education up to high school or higher secondary, we find a fall in the labor force participation. And but when they get a diploma or a degree certificate, their chances of being in the labor force increases. And when they go to graduate level, then there again their work participation rate increases further. And when they go for postgraduate level, the work participation rate, basically the labor force participation rate increase a little more. And so that's how we can see that overall the female labor force participation rate is lower compared to the male labor force participation in the state, and this is also true at the national level. And there is not much difference between the national trend and Odisha's trend in case of the female labor force participation rate. And now coming to the unemployment rate in percentage, we again find this is combination of both rural area and urban area. Now we find that Odisha's unemployment rate is higher compared to the national average. In Odisha, it is 7% compared to the 5.8 at national level. And for the female, again, Odisha's female unemployment rate is higher than the national average. And similarly, for the male also, the unemployment rate is higher compared to the national average. Now, if you compare across the group, now which education group has the highest rate of unemployment, then we observe particular, okay, if it is for the total population, then it is among again the diploma holders, diploma certificate holders, who also have the highest rate of unemployment, that is 25.5%, followed by the graduates. They also have the highest, second highest rate of unemployment, and the next one is secondary and above, and then next one is secondary. So this is for the total. So and then when it comes to the male population, and when you try to analyze the unemployment rate of the male population, and then we find again the diploma and certificate holder course holders have the highest rate of unemployment, and that is followed by the higher secondary level of education. The second highest is the graduates, and then third highest is the higher secondary higher secondary certificate holders, and then comes the secondary certificate holders. So what we can say is that the diploma certificate course holders have a higher labor force participation rate, but then the same degree holders also have the highest rate of unemployment, followed by the graduates and the postgraduates. Then we can see that in what all sectors the people of Odisha are employed. Now, this is the percentage distribution of working persons by industry of work, basically as per the National Industrial Classification 2008. Here we take both rural and urban people together. Now, here we find that the maximum people in Odisha are employed in agriculture, forestry, and fishing sector, and it is followed by the construction sector, and then the third highest percentage of people who are employed are in the manufacturing sector. So in Odisha, maximum people are employed in agriculture sector. Then comes the construction sector, and then comes the hotel, the wholesale and retail trade, repair. That is about 10% people are employed in that sector, and then comes manufacturing, and the manufacturing comes at basically fourth level, and then rest other things are contributing. Basically, the transportation sector comes the next. So that is the trend at the state level of Odisha. And then when you go to the national trend, we see that again maximum people in India are employed in the agriculture, forestry, and fishing sector, and this is followed by again the construction sector, which absorbs about 12% people. Then comes the manufacturing sector, 12.7, and then only comes the trade, the retail, and repair business. So there is a little bit difference in between Odisha and India when it comes to the people who are employed in different sectors. And we find that okay, at national level, education sector contributes a little more employment compared to the state average, and in other sectors we find very few people are employed. Now coming to the male workers engagement in different sectors, we find again maximum people are employed in the agriculture sector, followed by the sector that is water supply, sewage, waste management. That actually basically absorbs about 21.71% of people, and then comes the construction sector. About 11.33% people are employed in the construction sector. Then it is the mining sector that contributes more employment to the people of Odisha. And then comes the trade and business. And at national level, again, agriculture contributes maximum employment to the male workers, and it is followed by the water supply, sewage and drinking water management, waste management, all that sector, and then comes the trade and retail, and then comes the mining sector, which contributes about 12% employment. So this is the trend at national level and state level, particularly for the male employment. Now coming to the female workers, both in urban and rural area together, we find maximum people are employed in agriculture sector, and this is followed by the water supply, sewage, and waste management sector, and then comes the mining and quarrying sector. That is about 9.35% women are basically employed in that sector, and at all India level also we find a similar trend in the distribution of working persons in different industries. And of course, here as well comes public administration. If you see the appointment, the female workers are more employed in the public administration sector and defense compared to the male workers. Because here we find that about 8% people are the female workers are working in public administration sector, whereas among the total male workers, only about 3% people, both at state and national level, work in the public administration sector. Basically, we can say that government job. And now coming to the state, the recent crisis, that was basically whatever we have discussed are basically they are referring to the overall employment profile of the state, rural area and urban area, the unemployment rate, and where they are all employed. Now, coming to the state of Odisha, what we find is that uh, uh, after COVID-19 lockdown, many migrant workers have returned, and that actually provides us some updated data to analyze the trend of migration. Where do our people go out? Where do they work? And how they have come back. So let us look at all these data set. So we'll look at the districts that sends the maximum migrant workers. Now, when the workers go out, where do they work? All these things we are going to discuss. Now, this is a table that shows that from different districts, how many people have gone, basically how many people returned during this COVID-19 lockdown. And so we can say that these people are the highest, the maximum vulnerable people, and their job is insecure. And that's how when there was a lockdown, these people wanted to come back to the state immediately. And in fact, it might have also happened that they might have again gone back because they look for job and they do not have saving, so they basically on hands and hand to mouth status, and that's how they need continuous engagement. And that's how we see that Ganjam district basically received the maximum the migrant workers who returned to the state during lockdown, followed by the state Baleshwar, Bhadrak, Khordha, Mayurbhanj, Kendrapada, Katak, Balangir, Jajpur, and so on. And we find that Deoghar district received the least number of migrant workers who returned from the other states. This is basically the government data provided in the COVID dashboard, and this data is up to the month of July. After that, this data has not been updated, but this gives us a trend that which district sends the maximum migrant workers to other states and what kind of jobs they are doing. And these people are definitely the most vulnerable people, and that's how they had to return immediately to their home with the common facilities. Now, coming to the destination, basically, now if Ganjam district have received the maximum people, then where all they were working? Then we see that okay, the people, about 23,000 people, more than 23,000 people have come back to Ganjam. So that means these many people are working outside the state, and maximum of them were working either in Tamil Nadu or in Gujarat. Now, from Baleshwar, maximum people go to either Maharashtra or to Tamil Nadu, followed by West Bengal, the bordering state. Similarly, Bhadra people go to Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. Khordha people go to West Bengal in maximum number, and followed by Andhra Pradesh. Mayurbhanj people go to Tamil Nadu and Telangana. Then Kendrapada people go to Telangana and West Bengal. Cuttack people go to West Bengal and Telangana. Balangir people go to Tamil Nadu and followed by Telangana. Jajpur people go to West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Jagatsinghpur people go to West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. Sundargarh people go to Goa, Tamil Nadu, Jharkhand. Puri people go to Tamil Nadu and Telangana. So we see that maximum the people from Odisha from different districts go to Tamil Nadu, and this will be reflected in a table here that when Odisha received the migrant workers, basically the maximum workers came from Tamil Nadu, followed by West Bengal, Telangana, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat. So Gujarat is not the state that receives maximum migrant workers from Odisha. Rather, Tamil Nadu receives maximum migrant workers from Odisha. That's why maximum people have returned from Tamil Nadu, and they are more vulnerable. Their job was not basically secure. That's why they had to come back immediately when the lockdown was there. So this lockdown basically the data provided in the dashboard gives us some trend, and this is very rich data source. Now, to ensure the livelihood, Government of Odisha has taken a lot of measures that we all know. That starting to, government has given PDS and rice, wheat, pulses. It was at free of cost, and then cash benefit was also given to the PDS card holders. Similar construction workers were given their benefits, and similar migrant workers also got benefit. The people who had registered and got quarantine, they got 2,000 rupees. Of course, there are disputes whether everyone got it or not, but government announces that they all would get the money. So government has taken definitely a lot of steps, but for providing the livelihood, government is now basically focusing on this mission Shakti to employ or empower the women, and recently government has announced to basically impart skills and provide handholding support to over 5,000 women self-help group members in all 314 blocks under Odisha 50 program. And Government of Odisha as well as Government of India have launched skill development mission. They are training a lot of youths so that they can be absorbed in different sectors. They can become self-employed, and so that will help in generating their livelihood. And now, if you talk about how is the business environment or how is the environment for self-employment in the state, we find that probably the risk-taking behavior in the state is less, and that's so we find very few industries in the state or very few startups. However, in the recent years, we find these are increasing. And now, to start up your own business, you need the support of bank credit. Now, we will see that there are number of districts where the banking penetration is quite low. Similarly, the credit deposit ratio in the state is very low. That could be also prohibiting the people of Odisha to take up new business. And now, in ease of doing business, Odisha's rank has fallen drastically. If you take all states and union territory together, now Odisha's position is only 34 out of 36 ranks. So that's how overall we do not find a very conducive business environment in the state. And now this is the banks and ATMs per 1 lakh population. We find the maximum number of banks and ATMs are in Khordha district, that is the capital district of the state, and Nabarangpur has the least number of bank branches and ATMs per 1 lakh population. So we see that Khordha, Jharsuguda, Sambalpur, Cuttack, Jagatsinghpur, these districts have the highest number of banks and ATMs. So if there are no banks, people will not be able to save their money, people will not be able to avail the credit, so they will not be able to do the startup. And that is also reflected here in the low credit deposit ratio. You find the credit deposit ratio at national level, it is 76%. So that what is the meaning of credit deposit ratio? The banks receive savings from the people, and they give credit to the people, and so we see that uh, uh, in at national level we see that the credit deposit ratio is 76%. On the other hand, in Odisha it is only 39%, and it is little higher in the urban area, that is 43%, but in rural and the semi-urban area it is only 33 and 36%. So low credit deposit ratio could be a major barrier to the investment or to the startups in the state. So government of Odisha needs to basically intervene in this and take enough measures to increase the credit deposit ratio. So to summarize our discussion, we can say that work participation rate of Odisha is higher than the national average. Female work participation rate is lower in the coastal districts and higher in the tribal dominated districts. And there is an inverse relationship between female literacy rate and female work participation rate. And total employment in MSME has increased, but in factory it has declined. And total labor force participation is higher than the national average, but lower for the female. And unemployment rate in Odisha is higher than the national average and much higher for the female population. And female work participation rate declines with higher level of education, and maximum people are engaged in agriculture, followed by the construction, trade, and manufacturing sector. And in Odisha, the business environment is not conducive, and that's how we see the low rank of Odisha in doing business, and low credit deposit ratio also is a major barrier to take up new investment. So government of Odisha needs to really do something for the increasing the credit deposit ratio. And if you look at the trend of migrant workers, then maximum people from Odisha go to Tamil Nadu, and Ganjam district sends the maximum migrant workers to other states. And then coming to the suggestion, I would say that we have to increase the employment opportunities in the state. For that, the state of Odisha should set up one village enterprise in every panchayat on a joint stockholding. That means between the people of the panchayat should invest some money, and the government should give some money, and that's how the enterprise can start. On this issue, I have made a different video. People can discuss that and watch that video. And I have also written an article in Dharitri earlier, so I'm not going in details, but that could be a solution. That every panchayat, depending upon the skill availability and the resource availability, we should have a mapping, and then we should have a village enterprise accordingly, depending upon the resources available there. And then skill development mission is going on, but we need more hand holding of the investors, people who are going to take up startup, and so continuous follow up is required so that people can do their startup, and then they need also continuous training and hand holding to take up business uh, successfully. And then credit disbursement needs to increase further, and we have to also increase the non-farm rural activities to improve the livelihood condition of the state of Odisha. Thank you very much for watching this video.